Have you ever lain in bed exhausted and then you wake up in the morning only having to crawl to your coffee machine after a whole night of sleep? I'm talking 10, 12 hours. And no matter what, you just feel busted. Do you crash and burn in the afternoon but get a burst of energy just when you are planning to fall asleep? Listen, I hate to be the one to tell you, but you sound like textbook chronic fatigue. So, now what do we do about it? I'm Dr. Destiny Grant, licensed naturopathic physician and expert in natural and lifestyle medicine. We should sit down for this. We're going full podcast today. So, think of chronic fatigue as a little bit of this and a little bit of that adding up to a whole lot of tired. The cause of chronic fatigue is generally chronic stress. Here's the thing. Stress is supposed to be a quick on, you have an action, and then quick off, right? And in caveman days, that would be something like a lion or a bear. These days, we're stressed all the time, from our jobs to traffic to hormone disruptors and cell towers. The stress never shuts off. We literally wake up, rush into our day, huff and puff through traffic. You work all day. Maybe you don't get a lunch. Maybe you hate your job. Maybe you're overworked and underpaid. But then you get back home, you cook dinner, you eat, you lay down, and you just do it all again tomorrow. Or maybe you need a break. So you're on your phone and you're scrolling. But that blue light on your cell phone is literally sending daylight signals to your brain, telling you it's time to be awake. So now you're going to bed late, and then you're waking up early to do it all again tomorrow. This is like back when you were young and you used to party all night and then go to work. This disrupts your circadian rhythm. The disturbed sleep pattern is a stressor. And that caveman brain that we talked about, because technology has changed, but our genes haven't really that much. That caveman brain thinks that we're in a time of famine. We're in a time of war. We're in a time of feeling unsafe. Like, why else would we be eating food that causes our body inflammation? Clearly, there's nothing else to eat. It's a famine out there. Why would we be staying up all night? Obviously, we're not safe enough to sleep. Clearly, we're under attack, right? We're at war. We're now inflamed. Our circadian rhythm is off. Cortisol, that is influenced by our circadian rhythm, that's through the roof. All because the stressors won't go away. Our cortisol curve, which is supposed to look like this, now ends up looking like this. So what happens now, and this could take years, but our body, which by default conserves energy, stops responding to that cortisol signal. The adrenals realize they're running out of juice and they start saving up their response. They start treating cortisol like the boy that cried wolf. So they're waiting until the sky is actually falling before they give up their last little bit of juice. Where does that leave you? Not responding to the changes in your environment. And now your cortisol curve looks like this. We naturopathic physicians call this adrenal fatigue or even chronic fatigue. You get to the point where even positive things, positive stressors become overwhelming. And when I say positive stressors, I mean things like having a baby, getting a promotion, planning your wedding. These are all good things, but your body perceives them to be too much. Now, to be clear, this is not a disease. This is an adaptation. The problem is when the stress does not go away, the cortisol doesn't shut off, you actually have a maladaptation response. You can come back from adrenal fatigue, but it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of mindfulness. It takes shifting up here to reverse adrenal fatigue. If you're getting good stuff from this video and you're learning something today, go ahead and click the like button. Also, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we put out videos. There are supplements that can support you along the journey, but a lot of it is lifestyle. We have to remember that as long as it took us to get here is almost as long as it might take us to get back. And honestly, we just have to give ourselves grace in this period of time. So, this is where it gets kind of heavy, right? Most of us can't just up and quit our job because it's stressful. Not too many of us would get rid of our kids. You wouldn't exactly just stop paying your bills. But what we can do is control our reaction to these stressors. For some people, this could be therapy and understanding and controlling or managing their triggers. For some people, it can be lifestyle practices like meditation or prayer. It can also look like finding one thing that brings you joy and inject one thing of joy into your day every day intentionally. For some, it could be detoxing these anxiety causing chemicals by doing vigorous exercise and kind of letting the muscles eat them up. And for others, it could be deep breathing exercises. One other thing that I really like is to consciously and deliberately choose to express gratitude every single day. So, no matter how your day looked, you find one thing that you're grateful for in that day. One thing that I find I'm grateful for every day, and one thing that brings me joy, is actually my children. As exhausting as it is to be a mom, there is something about my family that fuels me, like at the level of my soul. So no matter how tired I am, I will hug my children. And that's injecting something that brings me joy, something that I'm grateful for, something that grounds me when I feel off kilter every single day. What is it for you? What are some simple actions that you can list off for yourself that you can use to reset your nervous system? In addition to lifestyle habits that we can put in place to help ground ourselves, there are some supplements that can help. So, if you were on the always on 100% of the time side of the continuum, herbs like ashwagandha and chamomile are really good for bringing down a system that's always on 10. If you are on zero 100% of the time, herbs like schizandra and rhodiola might be good to help bring you up so you can handle the stresses of your day. Other things I like are like magnesium. So you could take magnesium orally as a capsule or as a powder that you drink, or you can take Epsom salts baths. It doesn't directly treat fatigue, but honestly, it's so important for so many of our body's processes that most of the time you really can't hurt by taking magnesium. Of course, as a physician, I'm always going to recommend that you test first to see what it is your body actually needs and then treat according to that. But I have heard people complaining about functional tests not being covered by their insurance or the cash price being too much. So, in a case like that, I would rather have someone try something and not like it than to just stay feeling bad. You understand what I mean? As always, this video cannot be considered medical advice. This is only for educational purposes. So I have to say, please check in with your physician. If you do not have a naturopathic doctor, you can check the link below to book with me and we'll get you together. Other things you can be aware of are endocrine disruptors. So, for example, some plastic water bottles can totally throw our endocrine system off. So charging your phone under your pillow or sleeping with your Bluetooth headphones on. Sometimes eating too much sugar and processed foods. These things are all kind of dysregulating, and sugar, especially, is inflammatory to the body. When you want to regulate yourself, these are the things you should be mindful about limiting or pulling out of your lifestyle altogether. If you are thinking about testing, one test that I like to do, especially for adrenal fatigue or chronic fatigue, is an adrenal stress index. This is a test that uses your saliva to give us a snapshot of your cortisol levels throughout the day. what that does is gives us some indication of how your body is responding to stress throughout the day. There are, of course, more in-depth functional tests. They also check in on other hormones and the metabolites of those hormones, meaning how your body breaks down and excretes out these hormones. If you're interested in looking into some of these tests for yourself, I do have a link below where you can order your own functional lab testing. I also like to check in on blood sugar, micronutrients, and systemic inflammation whenever it's possible to do so. If you're getting good stuff from this video and you're learning something today, go ahead and click the like button. Also, you can subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we put out videos. But I want to challenge us to do something. I want us to start with something that we all have access to for free: gratitude. I am going to go live for 10 days of gratitude. And I say we because I'm included too. So, can we do that? Would you guys join me? Each evening, we will stop, we will take a breath, and we will express gratitude for something in that day. There's going to be a journal for you. I'm putting the link to get the free PDF also in the description box below. So download your journal, print it out, and let's just do this. Send this video to your friends or anyone you think could benefit from a little bit of downtime and starting to reset chronic fatigue, so they can get their copy of the journal too. We're going to go live on Facebook and on TikTok. We cannot go live on YouTube yet until we have 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead and subscribe. Let's get to 1,000. So share this video, share this video, share this video, and let's have a good time. You can check out more videos on holistic health here. YouTube thinks you'll like this one. And just click my face to subscribe. See you in the next one.